okay, so someone's watching or listening, they get it. I'm not broken, but I'm hurt. I do want to move forward. I just don't have any idea how. I'm sitting in that house and it's filthy. I know that. The anger, the bitterness, the stuff. I just don't want that anymore. How do I start moving forward? What are, Luis, 3 or 4 things that, these are the targets. You need to start doing these things.
Yeah, I would first start by acknowledging this is where you are and really understanding there has to be a way. You have to want to move forward. Often we get guys that come to us because of what's been done to them. They've done other things to other people, and so this guilt and shame starts to set in. And to try to give them a frame of reference in this biblical perspective that we have, the reason why there is shame, I think that it's by design. We have shame because there is guilt. It's by design, and that should push us to want to not stay there. And I think a way forward is to reach out for help. I mean, that's just start small, right? Start with the biggest problem, starting small, identifying that I need help. And that could be a close friend just saying, hey, what do you know? Who do you know that can help me out of the situation? And I think that's how it begins. It's just asking for help, number one.
What's after that?
After that, I believe it try to find people or an organization or someone that has been where you are and just found a way forward, because there are plenty of people that can understand your situation, but also have a way forward.
It's like you're laying on the battlefield with that, you're bleeding out. The first thing you need is someone to come and put their pressure on to stop the bleeding, right? That's asking for help. Yeah. But the next thing you need to do is get to a hospital where they're trained and they have the equipment and the know-how to get you back on your feet. and that's the second part of that, is get around people that have the expertise they need to really help you move forward.
Yeah, and I think this shame piece, you don't want people to find out what's going on with you.
They're going to find out.
That's right. It's a big lie. I mean, people know. It's a big lie, right? Yes. And so don't pay attention to that lie. Go reach out for help. Find somebody that's been where you are. They know a way forward, but definitely get with somebody. Don't try to figure it out on your own. That's good.
Brandon, what are a couple things there?
Yeah, it's interesting. Before I jump into that, with a lot of those guys that come through that, first day they're hesitant to open up and say anything during the the icebreaker and all that. And they don't want anybody to find out what's going on with them and all those deep down secrets. But then by the end, they're on fire and they're like, I need to go.
Can't stop them.
And they want to. I mean, if I would let them, they would join the team that day and be a part of it. So that change throughout it is like you said, that lie that people really need to understand of like as you go through it, how much help you can be to yourself, it can be to yourself, but then to others. But for me, it goes back to kind of the self-aid, buddy aid, triage aspect. We're understanding and acknowledging immediately you don't have all the answers, and that will help you go into the next phase, which is you can't do this thing on your own. And even if you don't know where to start, in this day and age, there's so much out there, and you also have to go into it understanding that there's going to be trials and tribulations, and you're going to try something that might not work that first time, and there's other options that are out there, and you just have to take that step. But that's the key part right there, is that first part of willingness to go and not want to be in that position anymore, and then to carry over to the family, the spouses, the friends that come or are struggling and with those questions of what can I do?
Yeah, I can hear someone screaming right now saying, well, what do I do? How do I help them?
And understanding there's not anything that you can do for them. It's the same. You can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink, kind of thing. But just be honest, encourage them, and explain how you truly feel about it, all the things you recognize, and then it's their opportunity and their responsibility on how they respond and react to it. Unfortunately, what I think happens is prior to that, a lot of people are afraid of the response. The same way a lot of Christians are hesitant or afraid to share the gospel, in the sense they don't want to ruin a relationship potentially.
Just don't rock the boat.
Yeah, they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to say the wrong thing or get into the argument and stuff. I definitely look at it the same way with people confronting a family member or a friend or something. They don't want to destroy what's happened or what they have and make things much difficult later on. But you have to take that step back, and the same way I look at, if I truly love this person and want nothing but the best for them, I'm going to share the gospel with them. I need to share the gospel with them the same way I would want somebody to do that with me, the same way that if I see somebody going down the same paths that I was going down, I'm going to let them know their response is their responsibility. But even though they might respond negatively or just brush you off or whatever, that doesn't mean that you stop.
Right.
You have to continue on and do everything within your power and your responsibility to do it. And I think that's the big gap that really goes out there. Or people are afraid or they don't know what to do. Yeah. They're trying to sort through all that, and
it's with love and it's compassion, and there's a difference between trying to help and nagging. Because I think a lot of I'll talk to folks and they're like, I tell them every single day he's got to get. Well, that's not what we're talking.
Yeah, you don't want to shut the person down and completely.
It's constructive and it's helpful.
Wall them off, but
and I also mentioned too, for the people that know someone who's isolated, for the people that know someone who's depressed. A word of advice to them is that person who's depressed and who's isolated, they're actually counting on you not to reach out. Mm-hmm. They're counting on you to not contact them.
To stay
that's right. And that's something that you don't need to pay attention to. You need to reach out. You need to constantly, even if it's every other day, call on them and check on them. They want to know that no one else is.
They've created this thing in their minds that no one cares about.
That's right.
And you're going to confirm it by not talking. We were just talking about that this morning with people. Yeah.